Thank you so much for joining me and watching the video to help you with your cell phone bill performance task. I'm Mr. Neff, and today we're taking a look at a family cell phone bill. And the directions at the top, you can read it quietly with me, say you are in charge of paying the family cell phone bill. Your family plan costs $755 per month, youch, which does include taxes and fees, so we don't have to worry about those. The plan allows 4 members of your family to share 1,000 minutes of talk time per month and 400 text messages per month. Any minutes over 1,000 costs $1 per minute, and any text over 400 costs $2 per text. All right, so now that we have absorbed that information, I'm just going to circle some of the important numbers that I see in the directions. And these are numbers that we're going to need to use to help us later on in our task. All right. Box number 1, which is at the bottom of the first page, asks you or tells you, because of a family emergency, your family uses 1,050 minutes and 415 texts in August. So I notice we went a little bit over the minutes we're allowed and just a little bit over the texts that were allowed. Write an expression you could use to find the amount of your family's cell phone bill in August and then solve your expression. Be sure to show all of your work. All right, so box number 1 at the bottom, we're going to set up our expression. The first thing I notice, I'm going to write this in. I'm going to write this a little bit smaller, is that we used, instead of 1,000 minutes, which were allowed, we used 1,050, which is just 50 minutes over our talk time. So not too bad. We are allowed 400 text. We used 415 texts. Not terrible. We're allowed 400, so we went over by 15 text. All right, so hopefully this makes sense to you so far. This information is very helpful. So we need to come up with an expression that's going to show how much over we are. So my expression, if I go back into the problem, I see that our monthly bill always costs $755. So I'm going to write that down as part of my expression. Automatically, I better include a dollar sign, and you should too. $755. Okay, so that's a standard fee. Now, in addition to that, so we want to use an addition sign, because in addition to that, we went 50 minutes over the talk time. So in parentheses, I'm going to put 50 minutes. And let's look back to see how much it cost for each minute we go over. It says that any minutes over 1,000 cost $1 per minute. All right, so that's not bad. We went 50 minutes over, so in order to figure out how much time or how much extra money that is, why won't it let me write? There we go. We need to multiply by one more dollar. All right, so this expression, 50 times $1 per minute, will help us to figure out, all right, well, that's easy to do. We're $50 over for the talk time. But we're not quite done because we still have to do the text messages. We did 15 extra text messages over 400. And it says that any text over 400 costs $2 per text. So when I go back to my expression, we were, let's see, I still want to use the same. All right, there we go. Again, I'm going to use parentheses. We were 15 text messages over, and they cost $2 per text. So we're going to set that up as 15 times $2. All right, so our number expression to solve the August phone bill looks like this. $750 plus extra time for talking, which was 50 minutes at $1 per minute, plus 15 extra texts at $2 per text. So you're on your own to solve this expression. Do what's in parentheses first, 50 times 1. Next, do the text messages, 15 times 2. And then you're going to add those three numbers together to get your monthly August phone bill. So I hope that you found the first part of the tutorial helpful. Let's take a look then at part number 2. If you want to pause the video to solve part 1, you certainly may. Okay, part number 2 is titled Thanks Grandma. All right, and this is on the back. You see box numbered 2, and it says, Grandma offers to pay $59 of the August cell phone bill. Each of the other 4 members of your family agreed to split the rest of the bill equally. How much will each member of your family owe? Show your work. All right, so you're going to have to go back and find out, well, what was the August phone bill? So what was your answer to part number 1? You're going to take your answer to part number 1, or the total bill. So that's the total August bill. See part 1 if you forget. And what you're going to do, if Grandma is going to chip in $59, well, that means that the total bill is going to be $59 less. Again, thanks, Grandma. What does that equal? So I want you to solve that by subtracting the total bill from part number 1 minus $59 to find out what that equals. Because we'll say that's the total bill left to be paid. All right. Once you know the total bill that's left to be paid, you're going to take that total bill, and it says that you're going to split the rest of the bill equally among the 4 members of your family. So if we're splitting or separating, that means we're going to need to divide. So you're going to take the total bill left to be paid, and you are going to divide that. Whoa, what happened there? Total bill left, and you are going to divide that by, you guessed it, 4. So set up your division problem. It's always helpful to make an estimate. So you use compatible numbers to round your dividend so that it is compatible with the number 4 before you start to divide. Be sure to show all your work in box number 2 for that division problem. I hope that you found the video helpful for box number 2. There is one more problem left for box number 3. If you want to pause it to solve box number 2, you can pause the video now. For box number 3, it says, Dad says the family has a 2-year plan. He says that the family gets a total of 2 times 10 to the power of 3 minutes of talk time to share during the 2 years. Is Dad correct? If he is correct, if yes, use words to explain how Dad could have found this answer. If Dad is not correct, if no, explain why Dad is incorrect. So I just want to remind you that the family gets every month 1,000 minutes of talk time. They get, this is a 2-year plan that they have. So let's just remember, 10 to the power of 0. So let's look at these numerical powers with powers of 10, numerical patterns with powers of 10. 10 to the power of 0 is equal to 1. 10 to the power of 1 is equal to, you guessed it, 10. And 10 to the power of 2 is equal to, yes, you're right, 100. So notice for each power of 10, we're adding on that many zeros that the exponent tells us to add on to the number 1. So 10 to the power of 2 is equal to 100. Well, Dad says they get 10 to the power of 3 times 2 minutes of talk time during their 2-year plan. So I want you to think about, well, how many minutes is that? Is that how many minutes that they would get in a 2-year time period? Remember that there are 12 months in a year. Ask yourself, well, how many months would that be in 2 years? Okay, so give a good explanation of why Dad is right or why Dad is incorrect for box number 3. I hope that you found this tutorial to be helpful, and since you listened, I'm giving you the opportunity to earn Wild Cash. If you come see me and say this magic word when you return to your in-person day, you get 5 pieces of Wild Cash. But here's the trick. I don't want you to tell any of your friends, any of your neighbors. This is only for the students who listen to the entire video tutorial. The magic word that I want you to tell me, magic words I should say, are in the box. Mr. Neff's mask. Come see me, say those 3 words to me, and you earn 5 pieces of Wild Cash. Don't tell anyone. Thanks for watching, and good luck.